All right, it's day 82, 7:30 in the morning. It's cool. I think the temps are in the low 60s, breezy a little bit. So today is a bigger day. And bigger in that it's going to be over 16 miles and over 4,000 feet of elevation. I'm not as worried about the 16 miles, but the 4,000 feet, it's a lot. So we're going to be climbing a number of mountains. But we'll get this day going. The other thing to consider about today is that a thunderstorm came in yesterday afternoon, last night, and so very potentially some of the rocks are wet. We read some comments on the Far Out app that climbing down from a couple of these mountains has some boulder scrambles that are pretty dicey if the rocks are wet. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I don't want to slip and fall again. That once was enough. All right, this is the climb up. I don't know if you can get the scale. All right, boulder scrambles. More and more. Well, we got to the top. Check out this view. Holy moly. Woo! All right. This vista viewpoint is called Lion's Head, and it's pretty cool. So the view from the ledges is, well, not that much, but they say that you can see Mount Greylock from here, but I assume that all the cloudiness is probably not making that easy. We've gotten about 6 miles in. We've still got probably 11 plus to go. The good news is it stayed overcast, which is nice, and the temps stayed about 62 degrees, so it's been cool. And yeah, so that's been great hiking weather. It's perfect. I tell you, I'm really glad that it's just not wet, because we're walking on all these rocks. I can't avoid them, but it's been dry, so that's friggin' awesome. I don't know how long it'll stay dry, but it's not supposed to rain, but it's still a small percentage it might. Hoping it doesn't. All right, we're still climbing Bear Mountain, and getting closer. I got 0.3 to go, but the trail's become mostly just solid rock. I think I read that it's the descend from Bear Mountain that's a little treacherous. We shall see. All right, we've reached the summit of something. I don't think it's not the top of Bear Mountain, but it's a cool viewpoint. These are the blueberry bushes. You can see how many there are. It's a lot. So I guess this is the top of Bear Mountain. I didn't expect to see this. Cool. Guess that means we have to climb up it. All right, we're on top of the rocks. It's a great view. Very cold wind. I'm freezing up here, which is kind of refreshing, but yeah. Yeah, you can barely read whatever it said. This monument marks the, don't know, Well, I can see how the descent from Bear Mountain would be pretty bad if the rocks were wet. So luckily they're dry and haven't taken a spill. And it just keeps going. It does give you the ability to kind of pick and choose your path. Like just going straight down here would not probably work. You could maybe go that way. Beautiful part of the trail here, walking alongside this river. Yeah, so we finally did make it down off of Bear Mountain, and no lie, some parts were pretty sketchy. I didn't video those, but I didn't have to butt scoot. I'm really glad we didn't do this when the rocks were wet, but yeah, it was definitely challenging, let's say, trying to figure out your path down among all these different boulders and rocks. But yeah, we made it. We still have almost 10 miles to go. We're almost halfway. We still have over 2,000 feet of climbing to do, which is almost halfway. Look how beautiful that stream is. Wow, it creates a really deep pool. I just want to say that one of my favorite sections of trail that we've been hiking on the AT. It's so beautiful. It yeah, that reminds me of like when we were in the Smokies, how beautiful that was. Except it's not raining on us. All right, so we're here with, who are you?
Ron, I'm Ron.
You're just going by Ron?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm just Cheryl. We don't have trail names.
Okay, Ron and Cheryl, and you've been hiking northbound?
Yep.
Northbound.
Okay.
Harper's Ferry.
Yeah,
Oh, so you're doing a flip-flopping.
Flip-flop.
Okay, cool. And you guys are from?
Michigan.
Michigan. All right. And I could tell by your accents. Very faint, but it was there. And you've had a mishap.
A little bit, yep.
So what happened?
I was walking down a rocky area that was pretty steep, and I took my left leg and went down, and my pole flexed, and I kind of stumbled, and the right leg just went slamming into the rock on the right side and put a pretty big gash in it.
So what's the plan now?
We're going to go to a emergency care center after we get picked up in about 5 miles up the road, and get it stitched up and cleaned, and hopefully hike tomorrow.
All right. I think you will, but maybe take a day off too, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. All
That's
right.
what they say.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, you guys.
We
Thank you.
appreciate your help
Thank
in
you.
the steri-strip.
Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to help. Is there anything else I can do? Just let me know.
All right.
Thank you.
The top of Mount Race. All right, you just step out, still climbing to the top of Mount Race, but Yeah, this is actually a little scary. And blueberries. This is cool, but it's probably not for the faint of heart. 'Cause moments like this, I'm glad my daughter didn't hike this, because I know she'd be terrified. This is one of the most visible blazes I've seen. So for the most part, for the last half a mile, there's been no blazes, or so faint that you can't see them until you're right on top of them, like on a rock. We even had a guy who had walked quite a ways and came back going, "This can't be the trail. There are no blazes." So it's this is the least marked section of AT I've seen since I started hiking my Thru Hike. It's not all bad. I mean, it's kind of like playing, I've said this before, like you're in a giant escape room game and you got to figure out the blaze. Like, that's all that's left of an old blaze. So you know you're on the right trail, but you can't see it from far away. And there are no other blazes except that faded one right there on the rock. Holy hell. Just keep climbing. Climbing boulders. You can barely see a blaze behind the bush on that tree. Tell you, after you descend from Bear Mountain, you start climbing Mount Everett. And it's quite a climb. So it's been steep. There's been a lot of stairs that have been added, which is kind of nice. I don't know if you can see, but we got to get to the very top up there. And that's just, I mean, that's not the top of Mount Everett. We just got to keep going. We've been climbing a lot. Well, finally reached the top of Mount Everett. Woo! I don't know what was up here before with these bases. To your car. Oh, there's a blaze. So we're going to go this way. All right, this is the top of Mount Bushnell, the last mountain I'm climbing today. You can get a bit of a view through the trees, but not a lot. So I think that's 4 mountains we've climbed up and down today. This is the last one, and now we're just going to climb down. So it's been a long day. It's a pretty big day as far as climbing and miles. So the reason it's a longer day was because we had originally planned yesterday to have a good day of miles. I don't remember, it was 12 or 14 or like that, but with full packs, and then we're going to go to a tent site in the woods. But because of the thunderstorm last night, we changed our mind and shortened the day. It's the only option we had to get picked up by the van was to make it a pretty short day. So then we're trying to make up the miles today. And so, again, we're limited by at what points the road crossings are. You don't have unlimited options there. You just have to pick what they give you. So today ended up being a longer day. So it was over 16 miles and around 4,000 feet of elevation climb. And 4,000 feet is quite a bit. So But we're nearing the end of it. And we're down to the last mile. And I'll be glad to get off my feet. They're pretty sore. All right, we're 0.7 miles from my final destination. It's been a lot of rock scrambles coming down. It's been difficult. But check the view. Well, I can tell you this is one of the more annoying finishes I've ever done on the trail. It's just been, I kept expecting it to get easier, but it's been rock scrambles and technical stuff and having to be very careful. And I'm finding that my legs are really sore, I'm tired, my brain is probably not functioning that good right now. I'm also hungry, and now I'm thirsty. So I'm out of food, out of water, which is fine because I'm going to be done soon, but I think it's affecting me, and so I'm having to go slow because this is like a perfect recipe for being stupid and doing something stupid and getting hurt. All right, finally off the mountain, 0.3 miles to go, and I'm thinking I'm past the rock scrambles and the big descents. So I could be wrong. But this is the easier flat stuff. As you can see, I'm running out of daylight. Not that I'm in danger of it getting dark, but the sun is definitely behind the mountains now. And yeah, it's been a long day. I've been out here a long time.